So this here is a comment that I received on my YouTube account. Um, it was in response to a video that I made where I was saying that I couldn't keep my dog safe. And I don't want to tell anybody how they should feel, but this might be helpful for you if you've gone through behavioral euthanasia. And I would like to talk about the difference between failure and defeat. I do feel like I was defeated, that I was defeated and I could not keep Ozzy safe, and I could ultimately not save his life. However, when I go back and think about everything that I did and that my wife did, I don't feel like it was failure, because having a dog with human aggression problems, especially if those aggression problems become owner aggression problems, that is a very difficult thing to overcome. It is a very difficult situation to be put into. And that's where I think the distinction between failure and defeat comes into play. An analogy that I always use when people would say after we euthanized him, they would say, oh, well, he was sick. He was sick and now he feels better. I don't believe that. I think he had a behavioral problem, but he was not being tortured, right? But I do look at it like, imagine you have a family member. They get bit by a zombie. Take some time, but after a while, they're going to turn into a zombie. And you probably have to do the nasty thing. And, boom. Now, you could say, yeah, that's what you had to do, They were sick and that needed to be taken care of. The way I look at it, though, is like, I wish they had never gotten bitten. Because if they hadn't gotten bitten, if he hadn't developed human aggression, then he would be fine. So sure, in the context of he was sick and this is the best outcome, okay, that's probably true. But the thing that really gets me is that I think back to, what about a universe where there was no bite, where there was no aggression, where there was no reactivity? That's what I think about. And it's sad, but it also leaves me to think, I didn't fail him. I was simply defeated. When somebody gets bitten by a zombie, generally, they can't be salvaged in the media, in the literature, as a genre, as a piece of genre entertainment. Now, reactivity isn't exactly the same thing, although I think it does give you odds that are maybe similar to a fictional zombie bite. So, again, I'm not telling people how they should feel, although I would try to, encourage people who feel like they failed their pet to maybe think of it in terms of like, I was just defeated, This was a Thermopylae situation where I had 300 against 20,000 and we were never going to win, but it was important that we fought till our last. And I know that we fought to our last, and I bet a lot of you also fought to your last. So even though I would, in a way I do feel proud. I feel proud of how I reacted. I also would say I wish I had never been tested. I wish I had no pride in myself whatsoever. I wish I thought of myself as a weakling and a coward if my dog was still alive. And I do think that, I don't want to be tested. I think a lot of people who go through these things, they wish they weren't tested. Being confident in their ability, feeling like they have bravery or resolve or courage, that is secondary. I would give all of that up if my dog was still alive. And I think a lot of you feel the same thing. So don't be too hard on yourselves, because you were put in a very difficult situation, and I'm sure you did everything you could for your dog because you love them.